Good morning, Entertainment Daily lovers. Join me. Let's have this quick conversation on politics today. We're going to be talking about the late ex-president of Nigeria, or former president of Nigeria, and the person of Muhammad Buhari that just passed on, and he was buried by his family in his home state. And, as usual, politicians will be pouring in with their condolences and stuff like that. That were able to go on the very day that he was being buried, and those that were able to, go later on to pay their last respect to the late president. But there's something I noticed. Nigerian politicians are always quick to attack the youth, attack the masses, making comments like the youths are lazy, the youths are being distracted by watching something like Big Brother Africa or Big Brother Nigeria or all these other thing that they prefer to focus on other than being focused on what is important to the nation. But now, let's take, for instance, what just happened now. That's the reason why I even wanted to do this video. I've seen few of them made the same blunder and they cannot correct themselves. First of all, there is a governor trending with a very weird results, and that is still trending as we speak. But the part that baffles me about this whole thing is the fact that these politicians keep making the same mistake. Now it's the Senate president. How is it that a Senate president cannot differentiate between the name of the present president of his nation and the former president that passed on? Now, the Senate president, Godswill Akpabio, was heard being talking about, discussing the burial of the former president, Muhammadu Buhari. But then he could be heard saying, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, like his name, their name is not even related. He's not also, there's another ex-governor that made the same blunder. And the shocking part of this is you don't see them pause and correct themselves. There are certain mistakes that you make and you can actually pick it up immediately, pause and correct yourself. But the nonchalantness of how these politicians operate and things like that, it is so clear and glaring, and it pains me. Like it is just so baffling, okay, and painful, okay, to see them put up their shoulder up and condemn the masses, condemn the youth. They're always focused on how the youths are so unserious. The youths are not focused. The youths don't want to be involved in politics. They don't want to do this. They don't want to do that. But simple things like knowing who died and who is still alive, I don't understand. It's now almost like, are you people enemies that you pretend to be friends? That majority of you are referring to the present president. But I don't understand how politicians, like these are people that are lawmakers. These are people that are supposed to be taking decisions for the nation. And this is a nation of over 220 million people. And yet, we are having politicians that cannot differentiate between a past president that is dead and a present president that is dead. I find this very ridiculous. I feel like the politicians are always these kind of people that are never serious with anything, and it shows with the passing of the late president Muhammad Buhari, where they keep saying Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and they just continue with their speech like they've not even made any mistake, and everybody's just listening to them and like, okay. I'm like, how don't you even pick somewhere in your sentence that you've mistakenly mentioned the wrong name and you correct yourself? Because there is nothing they take serious. They just wake up, everything is just nonchalantness. Let's just do it. Like, it's almost like it is forced for them to, give this public condolence to the late president, because they don't even think it's necessary. They rather be somewhere else enjoying their life and just doing the nonsense, spending money, stealing money, and those kind of things that they know how to do best, other than do the rightful thing that they're supposed to do. Hence, when you see them trying to just pretend to do these things, they always flop at it. They always would flop. So let me know what you think in the comment section. I just wanted us to come in here quickly and talk about how so many of these politicians, and now the Senate president, like that's one of the higher, you understand, for you to be a Senate president in your country, that's a position that you don't want to be joking with. So hearing Godswill Akpabio making such statements, referring to the present president as the one that died and they buried, it's weird. I'm going to include clip of the Senate president, the photograph of the Senate president here for those that do not know what the Senate president I'm talking about looks like, but he's been trending anyway. The battle between him and Natasha, so most of you would know. Now I'll catch you all in the next news. The next news coming your way is also on politics, but now we're going to be going to another African country. So I'll see you all on the next one.